In the early 1900s, Hollow Hill Asylum was known as a place of hope for the mentally ill. But by the 1950s, it had become a house of horrors. Patients reported seeing shadowy figures in the halls, hearing whispers in empty rooms, and experiencing vivid nightmares that felt all too real. The asylum was shut down in 1957 after a series of unexplained deaths, and the building was left to decay. The story begins with a group of urban explorers: Mia, a photographer; Jake, a historian; and Sarah, a paranormal investigator. They had heard the legends of Hollow Hill Asylum and decided to document their exploration for a YouTube series. What they found was far more terrifying than they could have imagined. As they entered the asylum, they noticed the air was unnaturally cold, and the walls seemed to pulse faintly, as if alive. Mia's camera captured strange orbs of light floating in the hallways, while Jake's audio recorder picked up faint whispers in an unknown language. Sarah, armed with an EMF detector, found that the entire building was emitting erratic energy spikes. The group split up to cover more ground. Mia explored the patient rooms, where she found old medical records detailing horrific experiments. Jake ventured into the basement, where he discovered a hidden room filled with strange symbols and jars of preserved organs. Sarah stayed in the main hall, where she began to hear a voice calling her name. As night fell, the asylum seemed to come alive. Doors slammed shut on their own, shadowy figures darted across the hallways, and the whispers grew louder. Mia's camera battery died, despite being fully charged. Jake's flashlight flickered and went out, leaving him in complete darkness. Sarah's EMF detector began to screech uncontrollably. The group reconvened in the main hall, shaken but determined to leave. As they made their way to the exit, they realized the doors were locked from the inside. Panic set in as they heard footsteps approaching from the shadows. A figure emerged, a tall, gaunt man in a tattered doctor's coat, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The figure spoke in a distorted voice, revealing that the asylum was a gateway to another realm, and the experiments were attempts to harness its power. The patients had been used as vessels for entities from this realm, and the deaths were the result of failed experiments. The figure warned them that they had awakened something ancient and malevolent. The group managed to escape through a broken window, but they were forever changed. Mia's photos showed shadowy figures lurking in the background. Jake's audio recordings contained voices speaking in reverse. Sarah's EMF detector continued to spike, even after they left the asylum. To this day, the asylum stands as a monument to the horrors that took place within its walls. Those who visit report hearing whispers, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Some never return.